Biking definitely makes me feel really independent and empowered. It is just my main mode of getting around. I started biking ever since I was in middle school. That's when I got my first bike. I would just bike to and from school, and I felt pretty safe doing that because I lived in the Sunset and there wasn't a lot of traffic. I live in Bernal Heights and I work in the financial district. I bike to work. The route I take, it's around 6 miles because I like to go all the way to the Embarcadero to the water so I can avoid Market Street. It's not protected in any way. There are muni tracks, muni buses, there are a bunch of pedestrians, cars, and everyone's in a rush to get to work. There's no enforcement of any sort of how bikes coexist with buses, traffic, and pedestrians. 2 years ago, I was just on one of my morning commutes going to work. All of a sudden, all I see is the inside of a door, and then I fly over the door like a cartoon moment where you see sky, and then you see building, and then you see concrete. I got doored by a passenger. She had just flung open the door super quickly. When you're hit from the moving traffic side, it's just so unexpected. I remember seeing people come by to look at me, and I could just see their feet. I was so paralyzed that I couldn't push myself up, and everyone was afraid to touch me. I remember falling on the side of my head. I had a big scrape on my chin and some road rash on my knees and elbows and just bruises from the impact, but no major injuries. I didn't break any bones. My helmet actually cracked from impact, and there were some pieces of it on the ground, and some people collected it and helped me sit down on the sidewalk. I was dizzy, but I don't think I had a concussion, but it could have happened very quickly, and I just didn't know. Once I recovered a little bit, I was able to stand up, and I remember some nice people came by and took my bike and moved it over to the sidewalk. I was sort of shaking from adrenaline. All I wanted to do at that time was just leave the situation, get to a safe place. So I didn't remember that I should write down the person's license plate number or get their contact info. And I don't even know if the car she came out of drove away already. I decided not to file a police report because I didn't feel like I got super injured. I'd never had such a big accident before, and I just didn't really know what to do. I took my bike and I hobbled along the streets to my office. It wasn't until a few hours later where I was like, wow, I got doored, and now I'm starting to really hurt. I was in a lot of pain, and I couldn't really move my knee. I had to sit down. Recovering from something like that is hard because you're just so scared about what's going to happen. I was biking very safely, and this is a situation that you can't control. It wasn't like I was riding recklessly, cutting in between lanes and trying to run yellow lights. I was biking in a lane very safely, and something like this just came in the way. Passengers need to be more aware of their surroundings and how to get out of cars. I try to think about drivers and passengers and where they're going and think about their motivations, because I understand I don't have the right of way all the time, but they also need to respect me as much as I respect them. Understanding each other's intentions will help us coexist a lot better. After getting doored, I was definitely a lot more nervous getting back on the road. I don't think I rode my bike for the next few days. Once my body was more recovered and I felt like I could move my knees, I got back on my bike. I would say I'm pretty brave, being someone who wants to bike so badly that I'm willing to put myself out there. That is just my mode of transportation, and I feel like it's part of my identity. As a woman who rides a bike in San Francisco, I want to see safer and better infrastructure for all cyclists. The city can do a lot more to create those spaces. I think it's that visibility and building that community that will encourage a lot more people to bike.